Hello, my dear students, and welcome to your ultimate masterclass on media and democracy. I am absolutely thrilled to be your teacher today. We're going to lock down every single concept from your Chapter 5 textbook so you can walk into that exam hall and completely ace it. We aren't just here to blindly memorize facts, right? We're here to truly understand how our incredible country works. Let's dive right in. Here is our lesson plan for today's explainer. 1. The Bihar flood scam. 2. Freedom of the press. 3. Media's social responsibility. 4. Basic ethical principles. 5. Role in a democracy. And finally, 6. Time to learn with our exam prep. Section 1. The Bihar flood scam. Why the media is our ultimate watchdog. Picture this scene, students. It was July and August of 2004, and terrible, devastating floods hit the state of Bihar. The sheer scale of destruction was massive. Over 9,300 villages were completely submerged underwater. Can you even imagine that? 2.1 crore people were left entirely homeless and hungry. So to help these suffering citizens, the government released a massive relief fund of about 20 crore rupees. But listen closely to me now, because this is exactly where the story turns into a massive scandal. Almost a year later, a mainstream newspaper did some digging, investigated, and uncovered a truly shocking truth. Out of that 20 crore, a staggering 17.45 crore rupees, literally almost 90% of the relief money, never even reached those hungry villagers. It was secretly siphoned off by a high-placed IAS officer. Now, because of the newspaper's sustained campaign and relentless investigation, powerful politicians and civil servants were eventually sent to jail. This entire investigation proves the sheer power of the press. Without the media acting as a watchdog, that stolen money would have stayed hidden forever. Section 2. Freedom of the press. The constitutional framework. Okay, grab your highlighters and mark this as absolutely crucial for your exams. If anyone asks you where the freedom of the press is written in the Indian Constitution, the trick is, well, it actually isn't specifically written in anywhere. There is no separate provision just for the press. Instead, it's completely guaranteed under the General Freedom of Expression in Article 19(1)(a). This basically means every single citizen, including journalists, has the fundamental right to express their own views and the views of others by any means they choose, including printing a newspaper. But students, think about this for a second. Is this freedom completely absolute and unlimited? Can a newspaper just wake up and print absolutely anything they want, anytime? The answer is a massive no. Absolute freedom without rules just leads to disorder. Count these specific limitations on your fingers with me. The state can restrict the press if their reporting poses a threat to the security, sovereignty, or integrity of the country. They also cannot disrupt public order, they can't ruin friendly relations with foreign countries, violate decency and morality, or commit contempt of court and defamation. Section 3. Media's social responsibility. Upholding the values of society. Let's break down your textbook's list of these social responsibilities. First off, the media must provide an accurate and detailed account of events. Basically, no making things up. Following that, they must provide a forum, a safe, open space for people to share their views and ideas. Third, they absolutely must uphold the core values of our society. And pay close attention to this next concept because it's a real game changer. When dealing with all that heavy economic and political power, some media firms might be tempted to put their own private interests first. They absolutely can't do that. They must prioritize the public interest above everything else, giving reports based entirely on solid facts and strictly avoiding any distortion or cheap sensationalism. Section 4. Basic ethical principles. The foundation of good journalism. Memorize these 4 vital steps for your test, my bright students. Any truly good journalist must aim to do 4 very specific things. Number 1, seek truth and report it. Number 2, minimize harm to people. Number 3, act independently. And number 4, be accountable. Operating in good faith with the reader is the absolute bedrock foundation of good journalism. Let's move on and see how this builds into specific, essential character traits a journalist must have. First up is autonomy. So, what does that actually mean? It simply means having the freedom to act according to your own conscience and professional judgment. A journalist can't be a puppet on a string. They have to think freely for themselves. Next is accountability. This means the journalist fulfills their duties primarily towards you, the public, not towards political parties, and definitely not towards the giant business houses that might be funding them. If a media establishment depends financially on a political party, they lose this vital accountability. And you know what? That seriously harms our society. And finally, impartiality. This is absolutely crucial for your exams, so take notes. Impartiality means a journalist must never, ever favor one side over the other. They must provide fair, balanced reports that aren't just totally one-sided.
Section 5. Role in a democracy. The watchdog of democratic values.
This beautifully illustrates two core separations the media absolutely must uphold to protect our democratic values. First, separating news from opinion. A reporter shouldn't mix cold hard facts with their own personal feelings. Second, separating news from business interests. A newspaper simply cannot let corporate goals or profits interfere with their ultimate responsibility to the people at large.
Section 6. Time to learn. Exam prep. Let's answer your textbook questions directly. All right, students, sit up straight and grab your pens and notebooks. Let's directly tackle the questions from the back of your Chapter 5 using everything we've brilliantly learned today. I'm going to give you the exact points you need to score full marks.
Let's look at the first short answer question from your book. How does the media protect the democratic interests of the people? Here is exactly how you structure your perfect answer. Write this down. The media is the principal source of political information. First, by passing on expert opinions to the public, it creates informed and actively participating citizens. Second, by explaining the actual flaws in the existing system, just like they did in the Bihar flood scam we talked about, they make it so much easier for people to make intelligent decisions about public affairs. Finally, in modern democracies, they cover many aspects of daily life, thereby protecting the political, social, economic, and cultural interests of the people. Boom, full marks. Fantastic. Let's move to the next question. This is a long answer type. What is the social responsibility of the media? Now, for a long answer, you need to smartly combine the points we discussed back in Section 3. Your perfect top-tier answer is that the media has an enormous responsibility to provide accurate, detailed, and completely fact-based accounts of events, strictly avoiding any distortion or sensationalism. Furthermore, it must offer a forum for the public to share ideas and continuously uphold societal values. Ultimately, it must absolutely ensure that the public interest is always prioritized over any private economic or political power. All right, let's tackle the second long answer question from your book, Journalists Should Be Able to Operate with Impartiality. What do you understand by this statement? Remember our definition from earlier? Here is exactly how you write it out smoothly for the exam. Impartiality means that a journalist does not favor any one side over another. It requires them to operate in absolute good faith, providing well-rounded reports rather than just one-sided accounts. To do this properly, they must stay totally independent from political parties or powerful business houses, ensuring that their loyalty and their accountability belong solely to the society and to the public. Students, you have done brilliantly today. I am extremely proud of you. I'm leaving you with this higher-order thinking skills question from your textbook to ponder for your homework. What do you think will be the role of the media in an undemocratic country? Think about everything we just learned about freedom and its limitations today, and how that completely flips if democracy isn't there. I want you to listen to this teaching anytime, again and again, using my exact words, and I promise you will be fully prepared to totally top your social science exam. Keep studying hard, believe in yourselves, and I will see you in the next masterclass.